I'd like to call to order the June 7, 2017 Town of Shelburne Development Review Board meeting this evening. Welcome, everybody. If you're here and you intend to speak, please sign in if you would, so we have a record of the names of people who are here this evening. We don't have a very, very long agenda, but we do have a very beautiful evening, so we're going to try to get through it expeditiously. The second item on our agenda is always public comment. If there's anybody in the audience or at the table who wishes to make a public comment, now is the time to do so. I just want to welcome Jerry Story, our former DRBer, who's in the audience. It's good to see Jerry. Moving along down our agenda, I'd like to take a motion for approval of our May 17 minutes. Do I have such a motion? Okay, and Joanna, thank you. A second?
I'll second that.
Thank you. All in favor? Aye. No one has any changes, I assume? Good. So now we'll move on to the substantive portion of our agenda, and the first matter is a design review application for the Shelburne Fire Department, which, as we all know, is located right next to us at 5376 Shelburne Road. The application is for a new concrete pad to house a generator, and also, actually, there's also that would be fenced in, and then a gravelled area for storage of a trailer. It looks like there might be some people in the audience to tell us a little bit about their application. And if you're here to testify about it, please step forward. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth in connection with this application, sir?
I do.
Can you state your name for the record?
John Goodrich,
Okay.
Deputy Chief of the Shelburne Fire Department.
Can you tell us what your application is about?
The application is to put a 5-foot by 10-foot concrete pad on the west side of the firehouse, on the northwest corner of the firehouse, surrounded by a 6-foot tall black vinyl coated chain link fence for safety and security of the generator. The generator is currently housed inside of the firehouse in its own dedicated room. The generator is almost 30 years old and time for replacement, so as part of our capital plan, the town has approved spending on replacing the generator, and with codes and other issues, we'd like to get it outside of the building. So this one is the plan to put it outside.
Can you tell us a little bit about the little gravel area for your trailer?
That has been, and they're currently parked on it right now, existing. Most of that gravel area, I believe, is also partially railroad property, as well as some town shared property in that corner. It's an odd line back there. They've been there for almost 2 years now, and that just got added since it was a project that got done to house trailer storage, as we don't have apparatus-based space.
So you're not moving where the trailer is now, you're just
No.
seeking permission to
Just,
keep it there?
it was added to the permit.
Gotcha. Kate, anything to add? Do any members have any questions about the application? No. I will say I had the opportunity to circle the department looking for a spot just now. It was convenient.
Most days, so do we.
Okay. Well, then I would make a motion to grant design review approval to the Shelburne Fire Department for the construction of a 5 by 10-foot concrete pad with 6-inch tall chain link fence.
6 foot tall.
Foot? Did I say inch? Chain link fencing for an emergency generator, as well as the addition of a crushed stone area for the trailer with the conditions that are set forth in the staff report, which I assume that you have, Mr. Goodrich. No? Or can get? Well, I can read you the condition. The condition is simply that you get a permit before you start construction. I'll make that motion. Can I have a second?
Second.
Okay, second by Mark Samet. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? None. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I think I got a little, oh, that's it, okay. The next matter on our agenda is a application DR 1706. It's Rustic Roots, located at 195 Falls Road, to enclose the existing porch for a new kitchen addition. Is there anybody here to testify? Come on forward, raise your right hand. You swear or affirm to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth in connection with your application, sir?
I do.
Can you state your name for the record?
My name is Russ Stemmons, Queen City Builders.
Okay. Tell us about what's happening here.
So it's an existing open porch at this point, and he would like to just close it in and make it a prep space for the kitchen. It's a very tiny kitchen in there. So,
Oh, there it is, right here. Does anyone, Kate, anything to add?
Yeah, I just have to apologize. We didn't get the elevations in when I sent the staff report out, so I emailed it, but failed to print it out. And I don't staff the HPDRC, but I staff you guys. And staff of the HPDRC was not completely satisfied with the elevations. I can grab them really quick and you guys can take a look. They,
I'd like to see that.
yeah, okay. So I'll be right back if you guys want to discuss
As far as
any.
I understand, the issue with the elevations was that our drawings didn't show exactly what the building was going to happen. There was a slight step back where it comes into the porch, and she just did a quick drawing, just that didn't show that. So the drawings will now show that. it
But if
has
I
a slight
understand
step back.
correctly, what you're really doing is enclosing a porch.
Yeah, exactly.
Where is the porch?
So it's have you ever been pulled back in the parking lot? That's it's the rear entrance to the building.
Hidden in there somewhere.
Yeah, right. It's on the left side if you're coming in, and right now it's just got boxes and a small little step up into it. So we plan to just close it off, make it look like the rest of the building,
Okay.
and
The
to add-
northeast corner of the building.
there you go.
in the
North,
back.
east, got it. So I would walk past it now if I was in the parking lot, right?
Yeah,
See
and you
all
have to
the-
go to the right to get into the restaurant as it is,
Yeah.
and to the left is where the kitchen all is.
Okay.
And right now it's just kind of cluttered, and just gonna clean that up
That's
and
what I pictured it
make a
as.
better access point for the kitchen. They have a hard time getting stuff in and out of there anyway, so we wanted to build a little landing. It looks nicer than what's there.
Okay.
While Kate's getting the elevations, does anyone have any questions about the application?
I looked in the pictures and so forth that were online.
I do too.
I mean, it was, seemed
I
like
don't
a
have any problem
reasonable,
with it.
reasonable.
And you're going to be putting some windows in as well,
Yes.
and they'll be symmetrical?
Symmetrical, yeah, we're just gonna match the trim, match the color, match the siding.
What kind of siding will you be using?
It's all wood siding painted, and we'll just get the same stuff. Same size, everything. We just wanted to make it look like it's always
Part
been
of
there.
the building?
Yeah. And again, the entrance to the back is just, is taking a small stairway, it's 3 steps, and just widening it a little bit so that it's an easier access for all the food and.
So there'll
things coming
still
up.
be a means of egress from the kitchen
Yeah.
there? You're not going to eliminate that?
Exactly. Just gonna be slightly bigger just because right now it's kind of, doesn't work very well anyway, and it's kind of falling apart, so.
Okay. Well, why don't you have a seat for a second? Well, we can recess until Kate comes back, rather than move to another item, just in case we need Kate's assistance for that next item. And then we'll go back on when she gets back. Oh, wow.
I'm sorry, yeah, I only printed 1 copy for the sake of time.
I looked online, so I'm good.
HPDRC?
No, so though the HPDRC reviewed the first set of elevations,
Okay.
didn't find them satisfactory, requested
New
the two new
ones.
ones. Those are the second set. I sent them marked up, and then we didn't get a third set of elevations, but
So is this the latest and greatest?
it's the latest. The HPDRC hasn't seen those. They just put in a condition that
Okay,
they would be fixed, and
okay.
That they'd be redone so that they
Mhm.
were what? Do we know?
I wasn't at the meeting,
Okay.
so.
I do know.
Okay.
It was just that, the overview showed the actual layout. This is just the simple, that's just pictures,
Okay.
right? That's just-
Oh, gosh, yeah, it's a big improvement.
Yeah,
Okay,
we're missing one. The one with just the layout of the building, like the overview.
so,
No,
That's
that's in
just
there.
outside the picture, oh, you do have that.
okay.
They recommended approval, so.
So, yeah, can we move it along?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome.
they did
there we go.
recommend
That's
approval,
it.
so.
That's it, that was the main concern, is they wanted that one to show the step back,
Yeah.
yeah. Everything else they seem to be
The
okay with,
8-inch setback from the rest.
yeah.
Okay.
It just shows the actual roof line, that we aren't gonna continue the same thing.
Everybody satisfied? Any
Yep.
questions? Joanna, nothing? Good? All right, in that
Anybody
case,
From the audience,
good idea.
seeing none, I will make a motion then to approve this design review approval as noted in the staff report.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None, motion carries, thank you.
Thank you.
The next matter on our agenda is design review application of Lisa Charleboy at 41 Falls Road for the replacement of an existing sign. Is there anybody present for this application? Can you raise your right hand? You swear or affirm that the testimony that you shall give this evening in connection with this application will be true and accurate to the best of your knowledge?
I do.
Can you state your name for the record,
I'm
please?
Lisa Charlebois.
Okay. Tell us about what you're up to.
So we would like to replace an existing sign that we have. It will be exactly the same color, same size. Everything's exactly the same except for the wording. We're in the process of changing the name of the practice.
Can they pick into us just for?
Yeah,
They do.
They do.
really?
Just for the wording to change?
It's a different sign.
Oh, okay.
But yes.
Anyone have any questions of this applicant on her controversial application? Seeing none, I make a motion to grant design review approval to the Charlebois
Very good.
for the replacement of an existing freestanding sign at 41 Falls Road with the only condition that a sign permit be obtained before you actually replace it, which you would get from Kate. Yes?
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Second?
Oh, shoot, yeah,
Just a
a
second.
second? Gosh, I'm
Seconded by Jeff.
And you know what? I didn't have a glass of wine with dinner. That was my mistake. So, do we have a second?
I think Jeff seconded,
Okay, thank you.
and now we have to vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None? Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry. The next matter on our agenda this evening is application SUB 96-03R1. It's a final plan amendment application by Albert Hardy for the expansion of an existing building envelope to accommodate a new storage shed. The property is located at 217 Eustis Lane, and it's located in the rural district. And I know that Dr. Hardy couldn't be here this evening, and so he's going to provide us information by phone. Do you want to dial him in? I do have a question or two about this.
Excuse me.
Oh, I can do it.
It's just a dial out. It's 9. Hopefully that works.
You might have, there we go.
Okay.
Hi, Dr. Hardy. This is the Shelburne Development Review Board calling you in connection with your application to expand the building permit on your property on Eustis Lane. Gotta love it.
Radio free still.
Yeah. Yeah. I can try them again, and if not, I'll just move to continue. How's that? No, I'm going to try them again, but,
No, I'm asking if you want to move to continue or make a motion to amend the agenda to put him towards the back. Maybe he's in a better spot.
Try them again. You gotta press
oh, right.
that, and then, 9.
Hello.
Hi, Dr. Hardy?
Yes, it is. Sorry.
That's okay. This is the Development Review Board calling in. I'm Mary Kehoe. I'm a member of the board. And we're calling in on your application for expansion of your existing building envelope so that you can build a storage shed.
Yes.
I hate to do this, but could you raise your right hand?
Okay.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth in connection with your application?
I do.
Okay, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you're doing? I do have a question or two, so.
Well, my property is very ledgy and very uneven. I have one flat area where the house is. I have another area where it's largely lawn. And I have this other area where I want to put the shed that is very flat. And I'm on the front lines with the gun range, which, is a whole other issue. But basically, this one area is the only area that is kind of private and flat and actually kind of quiet because it's in a depression and not visible from any neighbor. And it's actually very accessible from my garage of my house. There's basically a road down to it. So from my standpoint, it's the ideal site, and it's less impactful to adjacent neighbors than if I were to build it in the building envelope, which would be much closer to adjacent neighbors.
Got it. Does anyone on the board have any, are you done, Dr. Hardy? Sorry.
I'm done.
Okay, thank you. Does anyone on the board have any questions of Dr. Hardy? None?
So, real quick, yeah, so I noticed on the drawing, there's the words proposed shed 30 by 14, then there's a rectangle. So is the rectangle where the shed's going, or where the arrow's directing in the words proposed shed?
No, that would be the rough location of the proposed shed, and that's drawn to scale, I believe. But that's 30 by 14 shed, and that would be within the new proposed building envelope.
Got it, thank you.
Any other question? That, by the way, was a member of the DRB.
Former
Jeff-
patient, did a great job, appreciate it.
Jeff Pazza.
Oh, thank God! Thank God. So they could, yeah. Who is that? Can I ask who that was?
Jeff
Pazza, yeah.
Okay, right. Nice to answer your question, Chef.
Any other questions from members of the board?
No.
I have a question for Kate. I just want to make sure that we can, this was a minor subdivision originally, is that right?
It was a 6-lot subdivision. It was, I believe, a major subdivision.
Okay, major. So when we do that, we can amend it like this without breaking any rules. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, thank you. All right. Does anyone in the audience have any questions of Dr. Hardy, the applicant, or any members of the board in connection with this application? There are no further questions or comments. In that case, I would take a a motion, well, why don't I just make the motion myself. I'll move to finalize the record for application SUB 03-04R3. And along with that motion, I'll just combine it with a motion to indicate approval of the application. Can I have a second to those two?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? None. Motion carries. Thank you, Dr. Hardy.
Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it.
Okay.
No problem.
It works.
It's very exciting. All right, moving along, we also now have the application for conditional use permit. It's CU 17-06. It's an application by Integrity Construction on behalf of Mark Bonfigli for the reconstruction of a pre-existing non-conforming deck, or patio, really, to be made somewhat smaller. Is there anybody here? Yes, okay.
Hello.
Hi, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth and nothing but the truth in connection with this application, sir?
I sure do.
Okay, can you give us your name?
My name is Bob Coates. I'm from Integrity Construction.
Bob, I'm sorry, your last name?
Coates.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. So what we've got is a deck that is broken in many pieces. It was formed out of concrete, and then there's a bunch of stone that's just laid in the ground, and it just kind of goes all over the place. And what we're looking to do is take out the existing patio and just replace it with one that is much smaller and much more safe.
What materials will you be using?
The proposal is to use like a bluestone type of product. Currently, it's cement with chunks of old marble, and the grading is all off, and it's actually quite dangerous.
Okay, thank you. Does anyone have any questions?
Nope, I think it's a good idea,
Yeah.
based on what I saw in the pictures.
Yeah.
People are still looking, so I want to give them a minute.
Sure. My client purchased the house, and it wasn't really uncovered with snow for quite a bit, and it didn't come to fruition that we had to do something with this until, I don't know when it was, like February or March, I guess I spoke to you.
This is what it looks like now. What else am I looking at?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the part that it's just open, it should have a railing around it, and the same over here, and with regrading, we can make it all on one plane.
Just want to make sure Jeff is good. Jeff's good, I'm good. Is there anyone in the audience has questions about this application? Okay. You need to step up to the mic so that it's all on the records and state your
Yeah,
name.
my name is Bob Malay. I live at
Bob
3
Malay?
Yeah, I live at 310 Clearwater Road.
Okay, are you going to provide any testimony if you're going to speak to us with questions or?
Sure, I'm just going to ask a question.
Okay. if
I
you're-
was under the understanding that there was some penciled-in comment about creating some sort of a beach volleyball or a beach tennis court. Is that
Yes, there
accurate?
was an application that was submitted for that a while ago, but that has been phased out and is not going to be part of the picture
permanently?
permanently.
Okay. So this is just the...
This is just for fixing the patio.
Okay.
And I can confirm that that's the only thing that's before the board this evening
Right,
is
and
to
we
fix the
had
patio.
initially applied for that, and it was on that by mistake. I had not taken that notation off the bottom of the thing, so I'm sorry for the confusion.
Anything else, if anybody in the audience this evening on this application? Hearing none, I'll take a motion unless other questions.
So for clarification's sake, could we just have that scratched out and initialed in the plans that get submitted to the town, so that's known?
On the building permit?
Yeah, make sure there's no ambiguity. Thank you.
So I would make a motion to approve this request per the staff report,
And close the hearing?
as well as close the hearing.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? None. Motion carries. Thank you.
I did not hear what you.
The motion carries.
You're good.
Approved.
You're good.
Thumbs up.
All right, on to the next one. Oh, he's got another one right behind it.
Okay. So this one is application for variance. It's V as in Victor 1705. An application by Integrity Construction on behalf of Richard and Bethany Gibbs for the expansion of a non-conforming structure, a proposed deck, that's within the 100-foot setback of the 102-foot elevation, there we go, contour. The property is at 336 Pine Haven Shores, and it's located in the residential district, the stormwater overlay district, the lakeshore overlay district, and a portion of the floodplain and watercourse overlay district. Wow. Is there anyone in the audience this evening to testify on behalf of this application? Okay. You state your name again so the record's clear.
Sure, Robert Coates from Integrity Construction.
Mr. Coates, do you swear or affirm to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth in connection with this application?
I do.
And tell us a little bit about what you're doing.
Sure, so this is a house on Pine Haven Shores that my company built and the Gibbs have purchased. And we've, a while ago, and as part of a renovation that we were going to be doing, we thought we would like to add a deck on the second floor on the northwest corner of the building, which faces the lake. And after reviewing it with Caitlin, we were given the permit to do the renovations, the interior renovations, and the small exterior renovations that we're going to be doing. But we decided that we thought we should do an application for the deck separately because she told me that it may become an issue. So I guess what I'm seeking for is you're allowed to have a 200 square foot deck on your property that's no more than 2 feet off the ground. And with the circumstances of the land there, because we have a very big drop off right behind the house that goes down to the beach, we don't have a place that would accommodate that. So what I am asking is if we can put an 8 by 12, which is a 96-foot deck on the second floor, inset in a bump out of the building. And I think you got fairly clear pictures of that. And can I have that? So just, I brought this, if I may present it to you guys. This location is right here on this side of the house, right where you see that railing, which isn't there now. So we're just asking to have a deck that goes no farther than this and over to here, so that we can walk out of this second-story window.
So that'll become a door essentially.
That'll become a door, exactly. And then there would be no stairs down, and we've also got it engineered so that we can cantilever this.
Okay, so we have to mark that as an exhibit, and I'll want everybody to have a chance to take a look at it. I don't think Joanna can see.
Is that currently under roof right now?
No, it is not.
Okay.
It does look like it, though, when you take a look at the proposed side elevation, right?
There's an overhang on like the third floor of the roof, but it's not under a roof. However, on the opposite side of that, on the southwest corner, there is a screen porch that does have a roof over it.
While we're passing that along, Caitlin, can you give us your thoughts on this and what issues are presented? I'm not sure I followed all of it when I read the staff report.
Sure,
Any
so
concerns that you have?
the existing structure, the entire house is located within 100 feet of the 102 elevation contour. So I'm gonna get the years wrong, so I'm just gonna say a few years ago, a house that was existing there was torn down, a new house was put there, and then a few years after that, we had different regulations which were based on total volume. So they were allowed to put on a second-story addition. The regulations have since changed, and within the lakeshore, you can't expand a non-conforming structure to make it more non-conforming. So I said to Bob, okay, this requires a variance because in our regulations, it's not strictly allowed. Just to speak to the lakeside deck, so the regulations read, one standalone lakeside deck per property may be permitted, provided it's not greater than 200 square feet and is no more than 2 feet above existing grade and no less than 25 feet from the 98 elevation contour. So the standalone alone kind of eliminates that from being considered that deck, and so it's not an allowed structure. So unfortunately, it would not be my recommendation to approve this. It doesn't meet any of the variance criteria.
Question. You said this was a new structure built, an older house was removed and then this new structure was built?
Exactly.
Is the new structure built on the same exact footprint, more or less, than the
Yes.
old house? Okay, got it.
Yeah, they were very specific when we
Right.
built that.
Right,
So
okay.
we've dealt with a few variances lately, and we've been, because it's an exceptional thing, we've been pretty strict in our application of the criteria. I can't recite you chapter and verse on the criteria, but I'm not sure this application would meet that criteria.
I mean, they read the staff report.
Everything's in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's got a witness test for all.
Oh, she has it here? I missed it. Oh, there it is, yep.
Caitlin, I just have a question because under each of the, you've got the variance criteria here and then it says applicant response, please see attached application. Am I just not seeing that?
I did not print the entire application.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well, does anyone, well, I'm being a little premature. Does anyone from the audience have any questions of the applicant? None. Board members, ask away, and then I think I'm going to want to deliberate on this.
I want to deliberate on it.
Yeah.
So just to be clear, the house was built before the volumetric restriction, and so it was allowed to go up taller.
Right, so originally they replaced a house that was actually larger than what they replaced it with, and then when they went to do the second story, we had different regulations regarding expansions of the structure based on volume, and so they were allowed to go up.
Yeah.
And under those same regulations, they might be allowed to expand, but I'm not positive on that, and they're not there anymore, so.
Okay. Because we've dealt with this before on volumetric encroachment.
That raised back, yeah.
Yeah.
Can you just point out to me? Excuse me.
Yeah. Where it would be?
Yeah, just
So
explain.
what
you
we're
have.
asking to do is go from this corner to this corner and infill that with a deck. There's no stairs to the ground, no posts to the ground.
But this is currently closed.
Yeah, it is, and this would become an exterior door that would allow you to get out to the balcony, basically. So if you're right here, and that would be the deal.
And just to be clear, that corner does not have roof over it.
It does not.
Okay.
It has, there is a slight, the house design has an overhang on the roof,
Yeah.
but that's way up above you.
Okay.
But
Because
it
there's another
doesn't-
full story above it.
So, I'm confused. So
Yeah,
this, does the roof go out here or does it go back?
back there.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Just going to give people a minute, so
Mhm.
people are still looking at the, you're good?
On a further note, today, I was just getting ready for you guys, and I looked at, there was a note about the volume on, because I had not submitted, I guess, a percentage, the 20%, where we are in that building envelope.
Oh, we don't do volume calculations
It was addressed in the,
I thought we did.
variance
Valley?
request.
Oh, wait, where? I'm confused. Oh, are you talking about building coverage maximum?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, I did go to the architect that's working on this project with us and asked her to calculate the actual volumes of what's there and what we've got, and I want to add this deck. And I could submit this too. She wrote on the bottom the calculations, and it basically shows that we're at like 17.8%.
Okay.
So,
Okay,
and
so
that's
you're
not
good.
Kate's fault, that's mine.
Currently,
I-
you're at
With the deck, it would be 17.8. With the, with the.
17.8 of what?
Percent of the lot
Coverage.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And the maximum is 20.
Yes. And again, that was me, not Kate.
Yeah, that's okay.
Do you guys want to take a look at this, or should I just write it in as an
You
exhibit?
can write it in as exhibit. I think we might eventually want to look at it.
I do have a question.
Sure.
It's going back to the old property, the old house that was there.
Sure.
Versus the new one. So it's the exact same footprint, there wasn't more over there that's not there now, that, I'm trying
No,
to
we-
think of trade-offs or anything.
They were very strict about what our footprint could be.
Okay, so you're right on the old footprint,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
And if I'm reading this right, if this was disconnected from the house, this wouldn't be a problem, is that correct? So you're allowed to put a deck
Yeah, as long as you meet all the,
criteria?
yeah,
Or it can't be more than 2 feet.
2 feet above existing grade, not less than 25 feet away from the 98 elevation contour and 200 square
Oh,
feet
say
in
that
total.
last part again?
I'm sorry, I'm mumbling. It can't be 2 feet, more than 2 feet above existing grade, no less than 25 feet from the 98-foot elevation contour,
No less
which
than
is
25 feet.
the 98 elevation contour is where Army Corps starts to
Okay, got
regulate
it,
Lake
got it, got it.
Champlain.
Okay,
And it can't exceed 200 square feet in area.
all right, so,
It has to be standalone, that's what.
that's fine, I get that. So if they wanted to put a standalone deck that met that spec, would they be able to take a staircase down from the side of the house to go to that deck? Would
Well,
that fit the
standalone
regs?
structure, so it's
Standalone,
connecting.
Disconnected.
The deck is disconnected,
But if stairway
they-
connected to it would make it a non-standalone.
but they could take, can they take a stairway down to the ground?
I think it was included, so if you had lakeshore property, you could build yourself a little deck there,
Little
so
deck,
you
yeah,
could go
got
hang
that.
out by the water and
Right,
have a little spot.
I got that,
That was the intention
okay.
back in the day. And I don't know if are there any structures like that on the property at this?
We can't, I mean, they have a
Yeah,
dock.
because it just. if
Yeah,
I'm
it
not
it goes,
mistaken, it's-
it goes straight down.
Okay.
And we tried to fit that in, and it just can't happen.
How many square feet would this deck be if it's?
96. And the only reason that we thought it was clever, which I always like to share with people, is that there is that jog in the building that it would fit right into, you know, and that would, appearance-wise, wouldn't really alter the building that much, and we're not asking for stairs from it to the ground. It's basically a place to go out and read and put the grill. You know, that's kind of what we're looking for, because we don't have it with setbacks on the sides.
You said the previous house was bigger?
It
The
was.
footprint was bigger?
Yeah, I think it was bigger, but to speak to, I think what Jeff was getting at before, and I think what
Yeah.
you're getting at now, is that kind of reallocation of
Yeah.
area. So a non-conformity, if discontinued, you can't
You can't.
recontinue it after 12 months.
Okay.
And I think it's been a few years.
Gone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, how old is it?
Talia's almost 11, so it's like probably 10 years old.
10 years old.
Okay. Any more questions of the applicant? I'd like to move to close the hearing and deliberate on this application. Can I have a
Mhm.
second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None? Thank you. We'll deliberate and get back to you.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Can you pass that photo down so we can make sure that it gets to Kate? Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I think the last matter on our agenda is application CU 98-20R2. It's a conditional use application of Steve Gonzalez. I don't say your name right.
No, it's okay.
Gonzalez.
Okay, Gonzalez. Oh yeah, I wanted to say Gonzo, right? For the addition, for the addition of an accessory food and beverage service to the existing driving range facility. The property is located at 5353 Spear Street in the rural district and stormwater overlay district. Gonzo, raise your right hand. Can you give us the name for the record?
Sure, Steve Gonzalez.
And do you swear or affirm to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth in connection with your application, sir?
Yes, I do.
Okay, why don't you tell us what you're up to?
Sure. So, nice to see everybody again. We need sunshine, we need more
Yes.
sun, or people don't buy golf balls. So basically, my operation has been going great. 100% of people, 99% of people that go to the range, they're there to buy golf balls or take lessons or whatever it is, like I told you last year. The clubhouse at Quaniaska is 600 yards away. So what I like to do is I like to offer service to the people that are there to either get a snack, get a cold soda, get a beverage, if they want to have a beer, they want to have a glass of wine. I had 4 ladies yesterday, and it wasn't a great day, but it would have been nice to say, ladies, let's go have a glass of wine under the tent. Not a glass, but everything's would be can or throwaway stuff. We have a 40 by 40 tent, which we had last year. There's a couple picnic tables underneath there, so in your notes you can see, I would say 80% of the people, after they hit balls, well, not 80% are going to buy a beverage, but they would, the seats are underneath the tent. I put down 10% might go down to the chipping green and have a Coke, or I don't know what they want to do, or at the range. But it's not, the range has been there for 12 years. I'm not looking to open a bar. I already have a bar at Gonzo's. This would be maybe 5 or 10% of my sales. Someone mentioned the other day, well, how about all the kids that you have there? Well, yeah, I have the kids for 8 weeks, but when the parents drop the kids off, hey, if they want to buy a Coke or something, go into the tent while the kids are there, great. So that's it. We're open basically April 15th through November 1st. After November, when the snow flies, I shut down. I'm not looking to do anything in the winter there. I already have my indoor business in South Burlington. One of the things also on the application is I would like to do 6 to 8 outings. And what an outing is, I want to do a barbecue. I guess I'm not allowed to do a barbecue. So what I'd like to do is when we have golf schools, I'd like to be able to, if I go to IBM and say, hey, let's have 20 women or men that come and do a clinic during lunch. That would be part of that special outing. I'm not looking at 300 people, I can't have that. But that would be a specialty thing after talking to Kate. If I could do a barbecue, well, people that are there potentially do like an 11-to-1 outing. And if I'm allowed 6 of them or 1 a month, that's all gravy. That's what that was. But as far as the food, there's no food. I have a caddy shack. The caddy shack is where we wash the golf balls, so there's no indoor seating there. We have someone there that would serve whatever it is, whether it's a snack, a candy bar, a bag of chips, maybe a pre-made sandwich, but there's no indoor seating, so there's no building there for that. And that's it. That's what I'm up to. Nothing's really changed. Just need some good weather. Yeah.
Any questions of the applicant?
So, no grill, just
Nope.
prepared?
Yeah, no, so my thing would be to, I have if I'm allowed to do it, I have a hot dog steamer.
Yep.
We had one at my other job I had, that would be inside. The only time we're open really is gonna be on weekends and nights when people get out of work. If I'm allowed to have a pre-made sandwich, I mean, I don't have a kitchen, I have a small little kitchen. If they wanna do it like the ones you get at the local convenience store. But we're not making anything. I'd like to do that if I can, if not, I'll just do snacks, but,
Yeah, you've said a couple times you'd like to do it if you can. That
well, if I'm
is-
allowed to have, if I'm allowed to
Is that
have
part of the
a,
application, though? I didn't think so, or is it?
well,
Well, it's part of the service use is having that barbecue and everything like
Right.
that. So basically, when I went to Steve rather than he came to me, he was originally going for a liquor license with the select board, which is kind of what sparked this, and he was approved originally as an outdoor recreation use with some accessory buildings, and which is a conditional use under the bylaws. And anytime you want to add an accessory, when there's already conditional use, you have to go back for conditional use approval. And the application is for a food service use, and my apologies if I did not include it. And with that food service, it's really in your discretion to establish an accessory.
So there's food service at the baseball field right there. Is that the type of food service you're talking about? Or is that
Yeah, 'cause
more
they're
than what you're
cooking.
thinking?
no, I'm not cooking
Exactly.
anything.
Yeah, okay.
No,
so
no,
you're
no,
not-
no cooking.
Alright.
What we're doing is there's gonna be 5 or 6 pre-made ham and cheese sandwiches in my little shack that's this big. You know, little like the ones you see at a college dormitory. A cooler, that's it.
Yeah.
And then basically that's it. And I have a vending machine that would have, snacks in it if you want to get, that's it. But no,
But
there's
you'd
no.
be serving beer and wine.
Yes, and I have to have some kind of snacks.
Mm-hmm.
I have to have either popcorn
You
machine
have
or
to serve-
something.
You have to serve food if you have a liquor license, something.
Yeah, you have to have something to munch on.
Got it.
Like at Gonzo's we had, my first year, we had
State law.
popcorn.
It's a state law.
And it's the way it is, yeah.
But are you asking to be able to do barbecues in this application?
There's something on there
I
that
thought
says,
so.
6 to 8 outings. I told Kate, hey, it would be great to have, once a month, have, 20 people in a golf school, and then instead of going to the clubhouse, which is 600 yards away, it'd be nice to throw a small little barbecue over there and flip some burgers. I didn't
Okay,
know I
so-
had to get a,
So talk about that.
Oh.
How do no grill, how you flipping burgers?
Oh,
On a
no,
grill
in-
outside?
He's
well, that
allowed
would
to
be,
do it
that,
if
yeah,
it's-
there would be an
if it's
outside
outing.
grill behind the tent.
Got it,
Yeah, it's
okay.
not a permanent thing, we'd wheel it out. Yeah, I'm not doing every Friday night parties there, that's not what I'm doing.
And Kate, what's your position on being a barbecue under the tent or next to the tent?
There are some other properties around Shelburne. I guess a good one would be Bread and Butter, well, they don't actually, and a few other farms and things like that, usually, that do seasonal events. And the reason he integrated into this, because I said he should, because once you start doing an every Friday night type of thing, it's not an accessory to the use anymore. So basically, he's asking for 6 to 8. You need to establish, how many months is he open and how many events is an accessory. But yeah, it is part of the application, and my take on it, as long as it's an accessory food service and the events are accessory to the overall business, I think it's appropriate, but I think we just need to go down and make sure in terms of space and in terms of how often,
Okay.
and even maybe revenue, so.
So I'm confused about what triggers the need. I mean, what if a food truck pulled up
We have a
occasionally?
food truck ordinance.
We do?
We do.
Okay. All right. I was just trying to figure out what limits.
You catered it.
Yeah, he catered it.
If he catered it every night, it's no longer accessory.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I don't wanna do that. That's not,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
can go to the street to a full restaurant. I just wanna be able to offer something for
Yeah.
the 5 people that might want something.
Yeah.
And then
I'm not
on
gonna-
occasion,
Yeah.
up to 8 times
Yeah.
a season, you'd like to do an
I
outing.
just picked that number. I said, what would be nice, my
Yeah.
season's 2 months.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to throw a little grill out there and, but that's not gonna make or break my business. But when I do a golf school, would it be great to, well, you want
Got it.
popcorn, or hey, let's
I understand.
flip some burgers. If it's once a month, it's once a month. But that, I'd love to be able to do that. That would be a nice touch.
Okay,
Okay.
got
But it's
it,
not happening every Friday night. It's too much work.
got it. Any other questions? Anybody in the audience have questions? Yes. You have to come forward and state your name.
All right. So I'm Becky Castle.
Do you solemnly swear that any testimony you should give in connection with this application will be true and accurate to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
So I'm Steve. I'm
Hi.
your neighbor to the north. I'm at 4947 Spear Street. And I just am coming to say I'm in favor of this.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's it. I mean, I want to see his business be successful. And honestly, since he took over the driving range, it's sort of delightful to drive by and see stuff happening. Before, it was sort of like in disuse, and I don't know, it looked a little sad and depressing. So I'm all in favor.
You're just trying to get out of cooking dinner.
Yeah, yeah, maybe I'll stop for a moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Nice to meet you.
So I would just say that,
We have to put a condition on.
yep, condition is your season really only 2 months?
I was kidding.
Okay, I was
Only
like-
2 months of good weather.
Okay,
No,
so,
our season's basically May 1st through October if it doesn't snow. Yeah.
okay, so whether it's once a month or twice a month, basically an accessory use, the only cap is it can't be more than 50%. So really 40.
50% of, because he's saying it's going to be 5 to 10% of his revenue. I'm not sure that's the metric, or maybe it is.
I think it's part of the metric. There's not a lot of guidelines for this particular area, but in terms of actual space used, in terms of revenue, and in terms of, frequency of those events versus the normal golf day. So I think there's kind of 3 measurements, and,
Got it.
yeah, it's more or less in your hands to determine
People
what.
feel comfortable deliberating on the record right now? I
Yeah.
do. I don't have any problem with it.
I was hoping we'd give him everything he's looking for.
Yeah.
Okay,
See the business for
up to, we should put though some
a number.
on a cap.
You basically got a 6-month season on the outside. I was kind of thinking,
You got May, June, July, August, maybe September.
September's
But the
awesome.
weather could be, you never know,
it's
so.
gonna be great, yeah.
If I was allowed, 2 a month at the
I
most,
was-
that'd be great.
I was
But
thinking
once-
like a dozen is the.
Oh, that would be wonderful if I could do that.
Everybody feel okay with a dozen?
Yeah.
I invite you guys to the first one.
Wish it could work that way.
Okay, so not to exceed 12 events within,
Per season.
okay, each season, which is established from May to September, we'll say.
That would be great.
And-
Each event is one evening, not 1 month. Is that right?
Yes.
Sound like a music fest.
Yep, and you'll also have to abide by the noise
Yes.
Noise
we're not gonna
ordinance
have any
and
rock and roll bands.
and the
Absolutely
hours
not.
of operation.
Golf balls. That's my world. 30 years.
Okay. Is there anything else that you'd like to put in?
No, so I'll make a motion to finalize the record, close the hearing with an indication of approval and direct staff to prepare a decision to indicate approval with the conditions that will be provided to the applicant very shortly. Have a second to that motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? None. Motion carries. Thank you.
Great, thank you very much.
Good luck.
Appreciate it.
I'd like to go down there and hit some golf balls.
Heading there for a drink.
Okay, so that leaves us with other business. And is there any other business that anyone would like to raise? I have 2 items to raise. One, a giant apology, because we were all supposed to go out for a drink, and I was going to send everybody an email. And
Waiting for that email.
Yeah, and I completely spaced on it. I'm sorry, I was particularly busy, and in fact, I only remembered to go to give a presentation in front of the select board because Caitlin sent me a text saying, I'll see you there. And I saw that text right after I finished running 10 miles. And I was in my running clothes but managed to have enough time to put my Superman outfit on and give a little spiel, and nobody missed much. I think, Joanna, you were there, and I didn't even see you until, at all.
I watched it on TV.
Right.
You did a marvelous job.
Oh, thank you.
for
But,
representing
so
us
I feel
well.
like I owe everybody a drink, and I will make good on that promise soon. So I apologize for that. And then the other thing is, I wanted to talk about our next meeting, which has no applications on the agenda, and I'll let Kate fill you all in.
It has one.
Oh, it does?
Yep.
Right? It
So
continues
there's a
and-
request for an extension.
Extension.
So that will be on there. It's not a formally warned public hearing. But the other thing I really wanted to do, and Mary agrees as far as I know, is do an overview of the subdivision regulations and the bylaws. I think we're probably a little bit overdue for a refresher. And I also would like to roll that into reforming the lists for the planning commission about things that are unclear, don't really make sense to you, or things you would like to add. And depending on the time you guys want to put in, I was also going to ask Dean to do a quick update on form-based zoning, because that's in phase 2 right now. And we are also in the process of updating the town's comprehensive plan. So I think it'd be good for you guys to be filled in on that, and maybe you can try to contribute to the process a little bit. That's my list so far. I put it out to you guys in an email if you had anything, that I specifically put together. But if not, if everybody's good with that, I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Great.
Any other business? Take a motion to,
We're gonna deliberate after we adjourn.
yes.
It'd be good if we could get everybody here for that, too.
Oh, yeah.
We should have food.
I'm definitely gonna give you guys food. And drinks of non-alcoholic variety, but I
Okay.
know, sorry, you guys bring them, just kidding.
If we have it at the library, we can have alcohol, I think.
That's true. Maybe we should do that. Perhaps slightly less productive than it should be if that happens.
Maybe, it'd be good. Okay,
But yeah.
Okay, so I would take a motion to adjourn.
so moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so let's get off the record, and then we can deliberate.
So